Hi, everybody. It's Jeannie and Cindy Bnow,
Hey, Sandy.
our coffee chat right now. And Jeannie, as you know, my father just passed, and my parents have been together for 73 years. And
Okay, now I just want to say something funny because
you have to.
I'm a funny person. Someone tells me that, oh, we've been married, 50 years. And I say, in Texas, you can do less time for attempted murder. Just saying.
Oh, man. You say that. I was at a wine tasting place in Texas, and this big old cowboy says, I'm an attorney. He says, and I work on women who have killed their husbands, and I always get them off. He was suggesting if I want to, I know.
Yeah, it's
Well, you
like,
don't
yeah,
mess
not
with
today, homie, not today.
that exactly. But so dad passed, and mom has never lived alone,
Oh,
ever. And
mm,
so they were together for 73 years from the time they met. She went from her house, she was 18 or 19 when they met, and then went, married and lived with daddy for 70, almost 71 years, 1 week away from 71 years.
mm.
And so she's creating a new life. And I'm learning a lot from that because she says, I'm strong, I can do it. She has a huge support system, for one. And now she has a woman living with her that I just adore. She's from Brazil. So our family is very comfortable and happy that she's not alone, especially through the night. So the woman is a nurse. Uh, she's actually a assistant, and she works at the hospital. So she's got her job. She comes and goes. So she's not on mom all the time, and mom loves that. But she's finding her own life. We went shopping, and she got a pair of leggings that were all printed up. They're beautiful if you like printed leggings, but I've never seen my mother wear printed pants in her whole life. And there she was wearing them at this breakfast that she went to. And I think it would be a good subject for us, Jeannie, to talk about how to create the life you want starting right now.
Yeah,
You don't
yes.
have to wait for someone to pass away, but
Ask permission.
or
You
ask permission, because she was always, like she wouldn't wear something. She never wore black, for instance, because my dad would say, "Don't wear black," you know,
can.
although it looks very elegant on her. He'd say, "Don't wear black. It's wear colors," So she never wore black, and on and on. So, but there's some liberation there now, because now she's going to be discovering who she is and what she likes to do. We went to breakfast, and I said, "Come on, Dad, Mom, I'll take you home." She says, "No, no, you're not taking me home. We are leaving the breakfast." You don't say, "I'm taking you home." You say, "We are leaving the breakfast." So
Now that's a shift.
yeah.
Yeah.
So in other words, and she's correcting me on what I say. I can't say anything that sounds like it's something she can't do,
Mm.
right? And she doesn't want me to do that. So she catches me all the time and does that. And mom is the other thing. It's something I love about her, but and I recognized it not that long ago. I mean, it was probably been about 10 years ago, but when you're talking about a whole lifetime, mom is a master at passive aggressiveness.
Oh,
She is a master at it. And when she wants to communicate something to somebody that she thinks might not go over well, or that might hurt their feelings, or what might upset them, she uses someone else to
she needs someone to blame.
pass that in for. You need to tell them blah, blah, blah. Why don't you tell them? Oh, no, you tell them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So here's my reply. When someone says you should do this or whatever, My motto is now, she who thinks of it has to do
Have
it.
to do it. Exactly.
You have to do it. You thought about it. You have to do it. I'm not doing it.
But there's things that irritate her, but
Mhm.
she doesn't, she would never want anyone to feel bad because of
Mhm.
words that come out of her mouth. So I've learned how to tactfully say things, that, whatever. But and especially with this new girl that's living with her, there's a few things that mom likes a certain way. And she says, you tell her, right? And then
Okay.
so I
Well,
said,
and at this stage, you can certainly do that for her.
absolutely. And I said, so I always preface by saying, mom would never want to hurt your feelings for the world. So
Mhm.
she doesn't want to deliver this message to you. So she's assigned me to communicate this with you.
That's great. It's great. Yeah. But
Yeah.
we don't have to wait. And you started to say this, we don't have to wait until somebody passes away, to change our life. Here's what I find is many times we don't know what we like anymore. We're so used to just going along and doing what other people like is that we're not even aware. And, I taught The Artist's Way, which is by Julia Cameron, many times. And it's a 12-week course. And she talks about excavating our creativity. And it's like, what do you like to do? And I mean, people like, deer in the headlights. I don't know, because they haven't. And so, what I have learned to do is say, what was it when you were a child that you liked to do? Because that's a pure state. And this one girl said, "Oh, I used to like to pretend I was a horse, and I put boxes out there in the backyard, and I would make the jumps like I was a horse." So it was like, okay. Someone else said, "Oh, well, I like to. I always had a little lemonade stand going, or something like that. I like to do that, or, I like to write, or I had a little horn, and I, played the horn, or whatever." Well, so many times we've just layered that over and over and over because people said, get your head out of the clouds. What do you think you're doing? You're never going to be able to do that, yada, yada, yada. And so we just push down those things that we used to do, or we become a shadow person. There was a young man that she talked about whose dad was very wealthy, and he, for his 21st birthday, he bought him a seat on the New York Stock Exchange, which was a lot of money. And he hated it. But he said, I can't tell my dad no. But he loved music and just loved music. So what he had done is he became a patron of other musicians. But when he took The Artist's Way, he realized that he had a drum kit in his attic that he hadn't touched in years. And he brought it down and he just started playing the drums for his own happiness. Doesn't have to be on stage, So what is it that you like to do that you haven't done in a long time? And I think that's a great place to start.
I have this one friend and I love her dearly, and she loved to dance and she grew up wanting to dance. And so she did what a lot of young girls do is she went to New York to go to the next level. She was very, very good. And she lived in Texas, and she went and she was chosen to dance in this very nice group with this very famous dancer. And she loved it. And she would dance and she would dance and she would dance. And
Mhm.
the guy in charge, who was some famous big shot ballerina type person, said, "You'll never be a real prima ballerina because your legs are too short."
Your legs are too short? Yeah.
And it completely destroyed her dream, where
Mhm.
she instantly decided just to teach. And I remember it, and she's always had this kind of thing ever since I said this, but she said to me, she was telling me that. So that's why I went into teaching, which I went into teaching. Well, a lot of people do that type of thing. They don't go to the next level, they go into teacher place. And
Yes.
we see that happen a lot because somebody who didn't make it or didn't get the job they wanted, they're teaching at a university or community college or something like that, right? Because they didn't accomplish the big dream that they wanted, right? And so, and this happens quite often. And I said to her, you let one no destroy your dream, one no. And she went, the look on her face and everything. I said, wow, that's so sad. And I'll say that to anybody listening to, I've had lots of no's, lots and lots of no's. Are you going to accept that as your reality? Or are you going to find another door to knock on that will be a yes?
Mm-hmm.
Because the yes is waiting for you. And the universe is teaching you with every door you knock on. Because you know that old saying, success is revenge served cold.
No. Revenge is a dish best served cold.
Revenge is a dish best served cold. Yeah. In other words, when you make it, because you have to expect those people on the way. It's part of the equation.
Mm-hmm.
You don't instantly go to this person and expect some people do. And if you haven't gone through the challenges and the learning process, then if you do get instant gratification or instant success, then you really don't know what to do with it.
Yeah,
Then,
because you're not prepared.
then
It,
comes the big challenge. The big challenge is maintaining that success. And we've seen that happen over and over in Hollywood. You see somebody who stars in a movie and it's a wonderful movie, and then you go, where'd they go? Where'd they go?
well, in music, the one-hit wonders,
A one hit wonder. I'm one of those. I'm a one hit wonder.
but you've done so much more.
I've done a lot more than that, but I'm known for my one hit, that Jose Cuervo song
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
wrote.
They-
But to me, what that Jose Cuervo success with Jose Cuervo is the equivalent as somebody says, oh yeah, I have a master's degree in this, or I have a doctorate in this subject, because I learned so much. And having the Song of the Year in Billboard magazine, I learned a lot. And what I learned, the biggest lesson I learned was, if you believe in something and you trust a loving universe and you let go and let God take over and just watch for opportunities and miracles to happen, because they absolutely will. You'll get that one phone call one day. And when I got the phone call that Shelley West was going to record my song, I wasn't excited.
Yeah.
I wasn't excited at all. And my publisher was like, are you kidding? And because she's pretty hot at the time, because of You're the Reason God Made Oklahoma, right? And I went, okay, let's see what happens. Because by then I was so beaten down with all the effort that because I knew it was a hit song. I knew it was. And I was so beaten down.
So revenge is best served cold. I'm just going to tell our audience, Cindy gets monthly residual checks on this song.
Quarterly. Oh, well,
Quarterly. Okay.
but some quarterly from ASCAP, but sometimes I get those surprise checks in between. You're right. So
Right. And you're still getting paid on it. So it's like, who won, right? I love it.
exactly, for 40 years.
Yeah, I love
That
it.
song's 40 years this year. Well, right now it's 41 years.
You know something?
41 years ago. But people still can sing it to me and dance to it and all of that, So it made its mark. But for me personally, it just told me that I'm a songwriter. And now I'm writing musicals, as you know. And got a new one that's coming out that I'm working on right now that I'm very excited about, because it's about spiritual awakening. And I've learned how to listen to God and spirit, whatever that is. And I've been nagged about this. And you need to write a musical about spiritual awakening. Because my last musical I wrote, Pearl, was about human nature, looking at looking at us as human beings and human nature. And the one before that was telling an exceptional true story about a woman who created miracles all the time.
Mhm.
Now, I'm writing one about spiritual awakening.
I
And
love it.
yeah, and so, which is the
I'm picking out my dress for I'm
which is the underlining theme of these musicals, because although they're funny and entertaining, they're also, there's a message in there that's getting into the subconscious.
yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to do.
I love that. You are so creative, and I
Oh,
just am your biggest fan. And
oh,
so, our message to you as you are listening is look at your life. What is it that you are holding yourself back from? And if you can't really get it, go back to what did you like to do when you were a child? And how can you amplify
and
that? And
amplify.
we'll have more discussions about
And
it.
let me just tell you one thing about that. It's the journey is the best part of it.
It is.
After you've hit your goal, now what, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
the journey in itself, savor every little step, because that's where all the lessons are. That's where you're feeling the love from the universe, where your angels are thoughting you through and seeing if you're paying attention. And so the trick of success is handle everything with love, everything,
Yep.
and a lesson. What's the lesson, and where's the blessing and
That's,
everything? Yeah.
yeah. Thank you. I love our conversations. We'll get back and talk again real soon.
Okay. All right.
Okay.